But what we can do is make sure that we are doing our part to protect our residents in every possible way.
Defending our residents every possible way. Well, she's not very smart, I'll give her that.
That's Trump's new border czar, Tom Homan, trashing radical progressive mayor and potential felon Michelle Wu for saying that she'll do everything in her power to ensure that illegals are not deported. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and it looks like everyone who mocked Trump's mass deportation proposal aren't laughing so hard anymore, because Homan recently made it clear that he and Trump mean business, and the days of liberals exploiting illegals for cheap labor and political power are coming to an end. Which leads us to Homan's recent clash with Boston Mayor Michelle Wu.
People at the federal level, the incoming administration, they're a little bit talking out of both sides of their mouth, because on the one hand, they keep promising and beating their chests that they're going to fulfill this campaign, pledge of mass deportation, 15 million people, 20 million people. I mean, that is at a scale where you will be ripping people out of their homes and workplaces and schools. But then at the same time, whenever people push back and say, why would you want to cause widespread fear and ruin the economy and all the impacts that would involve, they say, no, you're being, add whatever personal insults in there, because we're only focusing on public safety and those who have a criminal record. And that's not true. There are simply not 20 million immigrant people in this country who have criminal records. It is a tiny fraction
we know
of
there's
the population.
We know at least there's one person with a criminal record. But go ahead, Mayor. I'm sorry.
And so what we're doing at the city level is we're being clear about what the lines are.
It's a little ironic that she mentions talking out of both sides of your mouth, considering that she says people who are entering the country illegally don't have criminal records, which I suppose on one hand might technically be true, because authorities literally have no idea who the majority of these people are to assign them a record in the first place.
Because what I just said is President Trump's going to prioritize public safety threats. What mayor or governor doesn't want public safety threats out of their communities? I mean, that's her number one responsibility, is to protect her communities. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So she helps us, she gets the hell out of the way, because we're going to do it. And look, there's a clear line here, and they can't cross a clear line. I would suggest she read Title 8, United States Code 1324 III, that says, you can't harbor or conceal an illegal alien from front of law enforcement officers. So I hope she don't cross that line. They can not cooperate, but there are certain laws in place that they can't cross, and I hope she doesn't cross it. But
now, Homan says, what kind of mayor isn't concerned with the safety of the residents? And the answer is a radical leftist. I mean, Wu's already supported defund the police and policies that refuse to prosecute crimes such as shoplifting, larceny, disorderly conduct, breaking and entering with property damage, and destruction of property.
I have been leading on the council when it comes to rethinking the structures of policing, to lead with a public health lens, to address mental health issues that come in as crisis calls, not by sending armed law enforcement, which can introduce even more risk, but sending these to trained public health professionals. I have been calling for demilitarization of our police to build trust with our communities. I have voted for common sense measures to protect those at large-scale events where our officers are present. And I have pushed to dismantle structures of systemic racism that we see present in our department, such as the gang database.
Well, that all sounds pretty dumb to me, but one thing is for sure, the next 4 years are going to be interesting, because some areas like Springfield, Ohio, are already taking Trump and Homan at their word, with many illegals fleeing or self-deporting, while other areas like Denver have mayors who are joining Wu and doing everything in their power to resist the mandate recently sent by Americans. But let me know what you think. How much resistance will Trump meet from woke politicians like Wu? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!